live right now. We are live, everybody. I'm seeing
Hello.
Penny. I am seeing
MC.
MC
Hi,
is here
MC, and hi,
already.
Penny.
Hi.
Hello, y'all. We're just going to wait a second for people to show up.
Hello,
And
Revive Healing Journey.
hello,
Light family.
hello, everybody who is new. Nice to see y'all.
So just while we're just kind of like sitting here, so our Lighthouse Lounge Empower Hour is kind of how we explained for those of you that were there on Saturday for our live. It's a sacred circle. It's so that we can be here for each other. It's if you want to vent, if you have a question, like Penny said she really needs us tonight, so we're gonna talk to Penny and see what Penny needs from us, right? And then I also, and I'm gonna say we, because I have a little mouse in my pocket too, we want you guys to put something in the comment section. So right now, this is not a membership, right? But it's gonna eventually become a membership, and that's what we're gonna start on December 1st. So it's $9.99 a month. It's 2 videos minimum a month. And then we were talking about there could be a third video, which is like, let's say there's a question about shadow work or something, and we want to talk about that. So then we'll have a class or discussion. We don't really want to do classes. We want discussions. And so that'll be extra. But we want you to know that this membership is for people who want to be seen, who want to be heard, and who want to be a part of the collective. It's for all of us to move forward on our path to our best and our highest selves. We're very open. All 3 of us are very open to whatever, right? We just know that we all need a safe space, and that's what we're trying to bring. And that's what our membership is all about. And then we'll go, it's initially just this level 1, but initially our next will go higher and higher depending on what we add and, how many people join. And, we're just open to it. So I don't know, Ruby and Morgan, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, this is we're basically hosting. We're not viewing us as being like, oh, we're your therapist or we're this like over you. We're hosting this because we think that there's a need for this kind of outlet for people, and we all are unique in our personalities and our styles and like everything like that, and we want to be able to utilize that together and kind of work as an equal team. So we're here together equally, and we view you guys equally as well. And we just want to be a conduit for the collective that we're trying to reach. And so that's why when we did our last live, we told you guys, hey, here's our emails. Why don't you, if you have ideas, and we have had people reach out to do that. I've had people reach out to me. So, with just ideas or what you're kind of looking for that we can include. And so this is just the beginning. What we're doing right now is just the foundational part of this, depending on interest, how many people want to join us to start. And then we're going to continue to build on this. So we're going to continue to add different things to it. We're going to continue to have new classes and new offerings that will be added on. And we have some other ideas that we're waiting on to tell you all about when we kind of get a little bit further down the line too. So before we
and it's somebody going, said, is it just you 3? Yeah, this is our thing. This is mine, Morgan's, and Ruby's.
Yes.
And this lounge is ours. So we might invite the other ladies to help us, but it's not theirs.
Yes. And so, other people, we may have other people on, but it's the 3 of us that are doing this one. So for the 3 of us, what we're going to be doing is when we do our YouTube lives that are not part of what, the paid part, because every now and then we're just going to come on like we are. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be, Denise is hosting for administrative reasons because somebody has to host it. But we all three have YouTube channels. So what we're hoping is that when we are doing this, that you guys will go to the other channels as well. So tonight we're choosing Morgan's Tourmaline Tarot. If you're on right now with Denise's channel, if you don't mind, we would love it if you could go over there to Tourmaline Tarot, Morgan's channel, and you could view it from there, because her and I are both streaming as well, just in case we catch extra people. We're taking turns. So can you all please, if you don't mind, help support Morgan's channel this time, to go view it from there. If you can't figure it out or whatever, it's fine, but we really want to give her an opportunity tonight to get some views and stuff on her channel.
And subscriptions too. Yeah. So if you're not subscribed to her, please do.
Yes, please subscribe to our individual channels. That way we can kind of make it so that all three of us can have views and all of that too. And of course, we're here to help, and we're here, but we do still have channels. So we're trying to get that from there. And if you haven't checked out her content, she's got a wide variety of stuff on there, and she does lives, just her by herself. So please check her stuff out. Okay. Yeah. Tourmaline Tarot. If you could head over there. So Denise, can you just go over really quickly again, like what the basic is of what we're trying to do, so that people because there's definitely some people here tonight that are new, that we're going to be doing for Empower Hour.
Okay, so on the video, that my daily thread that's going to be released tomorrow morning, I'm going to have the link in there too. And so what I have down there is that this Empower Hour is exclusively for members only, right? It's group live sessions, 2 per month, with more exclusive member only perks. So those will come, and we'll let you know what those are. This is a sacred space held by the 3 of us and fellow light workers, designed to ignite your inner light and guide you towards your highest potential. So we're here to help each other out. We don't know all the answers. You guys might be able to help us with something, right? And then each session offers a unique blend of open discussion, heartfelt support, and spiritual insights. We encourage open sharing and vulnerability, and we want to create a safe container for personal growth. So that's why we want it to be a members only, because we don't need, lottie-dottie everybody to be seeing what we're talking about. And if it's something that's super, super important or private, then, we could maybe hold it to the end, and then we can talk to that person privately. And then we'll also perhaps edit those personal things out, right? When you guys get the links, and you're going to get the replays, right? So everything's going to be on my channel. So it's going to be a membership on my channel. And like Ruby said, we just needed one person to host it, and that's why we're doing it. So we're all, 50-50 is 100, but so I guess it's 33.33333333 each, right? So, and then, we'll talk about whatever comes to mind. We might have a subject, we might be wanting to talk about something, but maybe something comes up, like Penny. Penny says she needs us tonight, so we're going to be here for Penny. As soon as we stop flapping our yaps, we're going to start talking to Penny and see what Penny wants to talk about. So, yeah. And
and like the reason again that we're going to be doing a combination of these lives on YouTube, and we're going to be doing the private ones, is because we want people to be able to experience it. Everyone can experience it, but I think we can all agree that we don't want every single person who's on YouTube to be able to see every single thing that's being said. And so that's why we were like, well, how do we create a space where it's private, semi-private. And so there will be an expectation, if you are joining, that you are going to be participating in that manner. So, there's this kind of confidentiality aspect that we're going to have And that's an expectation if you're going to be going over there, that is what we're going to be doing. It's private for a reason. And we're doing that to be able to protect everyone else's, privacy. We don't want to have everything out in the open here.
Yeah. And so another reason we're doing a membership is because we don't want you to have to go every month back to the website or wherever and purchase it every month or whatever. So we're just doing a membership. And, we started out at the level 1. And like we said, there's other things that can be added to it. And then as far as guests, we can have the ladies or Ron from Lighthouse Tapestry. And there might be people from the outside too. I mean, we know other people, right? So whatever we as a whole need, that's what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So Penny is saying, I have been told I'm a healer and a clairvoyant. I have been asking my guides for signs. I haven't been seeing signs or anything like I used to. Am I disconnected?
I'm going to look at, let's all, should we all?
I'm like throwing out all kinds of stuff. I just did it one time. Okay. Are you guys seeing my messages 3 times? My comments? Oh,
I'm seeing your messages 3 times.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm leading everything over here.
Okay, no worries.
On
Okay,
my channel,
so-
it's not showing up that way.
So Penny, I don't think you're disconnected. You just might be, maybe, Neptune's pretty strong right now. Maybe you're just being veiled, right? I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Are you feeling like you're closed off? Do you feel like you're open to it? I mean, I don't know. Help me, ladies. I don't know what the right question is to ask.
What I'm seeing is you're going through some sort of cycles right now. I feel like this is, what I'm seeing is there's like another card in another oracle deck where it's like a seashell, round and round. And I feel like you've reached like a plateau on like a certain like spiritual understanding, and they're ready to take you to the next, like increase it. And so they're asking you just to hermit yourself a little bit here, okay? If you can spend a little bit more time in meditation, quiet yourself. I feel like you're going to get a big breakthrough in your crown chakra, but I do see you're a little like hung up. You're a little bit paused here on something.
Yeah, I got, for you, I got energetic cords possibly being a part of this. So that is unwanted attachments, memories, or unhealthy energies. So there's something about releasing energetic cords. And then I also got dreams. So these are coming in your dreams. Maybe you're not remembering the dreams necessarily, but they're actually saying to go ahead and keep a dream journal to decipher messages from spirit, and make sure that you do that within like 5 minutes of waking up. So you might want to keep it actually by your bed. And yeah, you could be pushing too hard. You're talking about pushing too hard for signs.
Yeah.
The more that I look for the signs, the more it doesn't show up for me, but it's when I'm not looking that I find the numbers or the synchronicities or whatever it is. And then what I do is I try to say, what was I just thinking about when I saw this 1111? What was I just talking about when I saw this 1111? And then I can kind of like pull it back and be like, okay, that was when I was talking about this person or that situation. So yeah, you're having dreams. Have your dreams been about relationships with other people, some sort of energetic cords here with unhealthy energies, or maybe something unhealthy from your past? Because that's what I was getting was those 2 messages.
When I saw that you put that you are a Gemini, Uranus just went into Gemini. It's at 0 degrees retrograde, and it is opposing I want to say it's Mars and Sagittarius. Mars just went into Sagittarius. And the only reason I know all this is because I just did a video for my channel. But so maybe, remember, retrogrades are about reevaluating. So I think, like Ruby said, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you might want to start journaling. You can start writing down, what do you remember from your dreams? You know, you can do that automatic writing. You know, just start writing stuff. And even if it's, you can't think of anything, you're just like, oh, I don't, you know, Denise told me to write and I can't think of a damn thing. I don't know what she's, you know, what's wrong with her or whatever. And then you're just going to start writing stuff. Right. So it's probably just a process. And like you said, you were looking for things. So you said it yourself. You know, you probably solved your own issue here by saying that you're trying too hard. So you probably just need to step back a little bit. Try to, this Uranus and Gemini is about grounding yourself right now. So be a little more grounded, you know, just, and be open that those 2 videos that Ruby did on the divine feminine and divine masculine, those were really, that was really good information. If you haven't seen those, check those out. Those can help you open up some of those energies too.
Well, I'm also seeing too, like with you have family issues from the past, family drama. You're talking about, there could be messages in your dreams. I mean, about that maybe you can start processing as well. And then we also have somebody here, Jenna, who is saying, I was once told that what you hear isn't in another voice, it's your voice. You have to have the discernment to choose the messages versus what maybe you're thinking. So that's a good thing. And she's saying, I do question myself often and have some self-doubt issues too. So she can definitely relate. And then Ashley's saying, who's Nova Star Tarot. Hi, Ashley. She's saying, Jenna, intuition is soft, not fearful. So, you know, I do resonate with that as well. Because usually if you're getting like loud bombardments, it's going to be fear or anxiety versus your intuition. It's just like, for me, it's like that tug feeling. It's where in your stomach it resonates and you're like, oh yeah, that's for me. That's intuition for sure. But in terms of actual signs, I think that the sign is that, you know, you're like, well, I'm not getting signs, but you're getting these nightmares. And so in a sense, it's almost like, to me, I would take that as something. I wouldn't just push that aside and say, like, it's separate. It may be an invitation for you to kind of work through some of those, what you're seeing. And it's like about a specific person or whatever it is, then maybe journaling about the dream and then maybe processing what that could be with regarding that individual person or whatever that past experience is. And it can kind of untangle you a little bit.
And what I heard when Ruby was describing all this was, I heard imposter syndrome. And that's something I've been hearing a lot recently for some reason. And I know why I'm hearing it, because we feel like we're not, you know, we don't know enough to be, you know, telling you all this, giving you all this guidance, right? But we're just conduits, right? And so you're a conduit as well. And you just, you know, Ruby and Morgan and I have talked about it several times too. It's like, well, if somebody was asking me for advice, this is what I would tell them. But we can't tell ourselves that, right? So you just have to trust that whatever's coming through, that, you know, it's what's supposed to come through. So I think it was, I can't remember who saw it on here or who wrote it on here, that, you know, they have to trust themselves too, or hear the voices, right? Like, I noticed today that I when I'm doing my readings, my ear itches. So maybe that's one of my things, my cues, right? Is my ear or something, because I'm supposed to be hearing something or whatever. So we're all just still figuring it out, right?
Yes, I have the ear too. For me, my right ear is divine masculine and my left ear is divine feminine. So if I'm doing a twin flame reading, or if I'm even doing an individual reading and I get one of those where I get a lot of ear ringing and stuff because I have neck problems, possibly partially. But when I have my left side and my right side go off, even if it's just a regular reading, well, what do those energies represent? Right. So it could even just be like if my masculine side goes off, it's like, well, what areas do I need to take action in? What areas do I need to take charge in and more 3D energy versus in what areas do I need to be attracting? And what areas do I need to allow? Right. And so you also can assign those to yourself.
Mm.
If I get this sign, if I see a white feather, this is what this means to me. I've been doing that with names myself. When I have like guidance with a certain situation, if I see a certain name, I've already had that with spirit where I'm like, if I see this particular name, this is what this means. And if it's like comes in a way where it's obviously a sign or a synchronicity, and wow, it's been really tying things together for me in that way. So you can have, just like you, when you're learning to read tarot, I have certain meanings of certain cards that are not traditional meanings. And I have like, just my way of reading that is my own. And so you can make a deal with spirit by like, this is what when I see this on this card or whatever, then this is what this means additionally. So me as a reader, I will take that in. It's the same when you're talking to spirit. And you can just be like, this is what it means if this happens. Or I'm going to see this thing, or if I see this sort of license plate or this type of vehicle or whatever it is.
Yeah, a lot of the times what I'll do too is like I will see it and then I'll be like, okay, like so they will send me a couple of different signs. Like 2 or 3 signs will show up. And now I just have like it's like a language and it makes sense only to me. It's like and it's referenced from like past experiences and like it's all kind of woven together, like the communication and how I understand it. And so it becomes kind of like a unique language between you and your guides. And sometimes it's just acknowledging, right? At the beginning, I thought I was like, I'm nuts. Like I'm just imagining all this stuff. And then thank God I started getting connected and with like tarot and, you know, understanding that it was confirmation really. And so I usually check it. Like for myself personally, I check it a few times in a few different places before I'll make choices or
Why do you want to go in the closet?
so
It's my deaf cat. Sorry.
yeah, so that's how it usually works for me. And it's very unique and personal. And, you know, certain animals will mean certain things. I started looking up because I started seeing things like coyotes, or I started to see a hawk, things like that. And then I'd be like, why do I keep seeing this same hawk? It's always in the, you know, when I'm on the way to this person's house, I'll start seeing this hawk sitting on a totem. And sometimes, especially for me with animal totem, they speak a lot through nature. I'm like, it almost looks like it's not real. It's sort of mystical. And I'll like look away, I'll look back and it'll have flown away. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's pretty amazing. And then when you're like really open, for me anyway, my guides just have like a blast. I get like hilarious things. Like sometimes certain synchronicity stuff that they're communicating, I'll be like laughing to myself about it. I'm like, nobody else would understand like why I'm laughing right now about this sign that I'm getting. But it's funny. It's fun.
Yeah,
you know?
my guides actually have quite the sense of humor. So so MC is saying, I am new at clairaudience and I often heard a word or two with lots of gaps in between. My question is how to discern messages and guidance from occasional deceptive ones or to hear only non-deceptive. Well, I think I don't think all the clairs are giving us usually similar messages. So how it comes in may not be quite as important. So I'm also clairaudient, but that's probably one of my lesser skills. I usually hear sound effects and that kind of thing. Like I hear wind chimes a lot. And so I have like a certain meaning that I've associated with that. Do either of you two have clairaudience specifically?
I don't think so. I think I'm more clairsentient. Um, I haven't really tried to develop the audience part, but we have, I
Yeah.
think we might all just have all of them, which is what do you use or what do you want to use? Like with the interpretations of the cards, when I was first learning tarot, I'm a Virgo moon, so I'm very methodical. Everything has to be this way. So I was like really hard on myself, and I'm like, okay, the 4 of swords is this, and the 5 of cups is this, but it's whatever it is to you. Sometimes today in a reading, I pulled the 4 of swords and I said the 4 of wands, and it tied to the 10 of cups that was on the table. I mean,
Yeah.
it just,
That
you
if it
have to just
happens,
say
it
what it
happens
is.
for a
Yeah.
reason. If it happens if you say the wrong card, it happens for a reason.
Right.
And if you're tapped into spirit, like when I'm doing a tarot reading, if something happens, that none of that is a mistake. So I
Yeah.
guess my question, I had asked it just now. Lila's saying, so do my guides. Making us laugh. So I'm asking MC, what do you mean by deceptive? To me, when I'm going to tie it back to the intuitive knowing versus and knowing what is true and how it's resonating with your body, and how something feels right and how it resonates for you in the right way, or when it's deceptive, I'm not sure what you mean by the deceptive part, but for me, I listen to my body, but most significantly, like my heart chakra and then my solar plexus. Like for me personally, that's how I will kind of like do a double check here. Like, is this my fear? Because our
Yeah.
solar plexus will tell us what is our fear. Is that our fear speaking? Am I feeling this is the answer out of fear, or is this because with me, with my heart chakra is like my most active chakra, because I feel like that's where we really tap into, get out of our heads and get into our hearts and really tap into the 5D energy, because I feel like it's a gateway. And so for me, I have everything filter through my heart when I'm reading, and as I'm reading the tarot or whatever, I keep checking in as I'm doing it, and most of my messages come in through there. And you would think that it would be coming in through the crown or the third eye, and I do get that, where sometimes I can just stream through the crown. But as I'm reading, usually for me, it's coming through the heart, and I'm getting the confirmations as I'm pulling, and I feel like that's where my guides come through. And so I don't know if anybody else wants to elaborate.
I was just gonna say what I just put in the chat is about clearing your space too, right? You want to clear the space. So you want to just let in what's for your best and highest good. That way, if something maybe does come in that's not something you're normally hearing, then you can say, okay, I cleared that space, or I've cleared this area. I have my big selenite right here that I clear everything with, and I have my burning over here and stuff. But even if I forget, I just try real fast. Okay, only for my best and highest good, right? And then that way you can pay attention to whatever comes in. But it's just you. And like Ruby said, you just have to trust it. You can ask questions about it. You can table it, take a little note and then get back to it. And then Morgan was talking about, the animals. The signs that you see, it's the same thing. It's like, what does it mean to you? Like, I used to see hawks all the time, right? And I looked it up, like Morgan, I looked it up, what does a hawk mean? But how do I feel when I see those hawks, right? That's maybe that's that personal connection that I have, or that Morgan has, with that spirit animal, or with that energy, right? That's what they want you to feel, you know what I mean? Or want you to pay attention to. So it's just
Also,
different with everybody.
Yeah, and just like I would pull a clarifying card on a tarot deck if I didn't know exactly what spirit was trying to say to me. You can do the same thing, because just with your guides, you're the driver. You're the one who
Mhm.
makes the decisions about the rules for what certain things mean to you. And so you can ask for, like, okay, so what I'm getting from you, Spirit, is this about this situation. Whatever. Can you give me a clarifier? Show me more specifically what you mean. Asking questions like that.
Mm-hmm.
He says,
Yeah,
sorry.
like sometimes I'll get warnings, like I'll be out and about, or I'll have a dream about like a snake dream or something, for example. And then I wake up the next day and I'm like, uh-oh, like there's something today that I really. And so then I will be like, okay, show me more, show me more. Like, what do I need to be warned about? Usually I already kind of know that there's like a few things I need to work on in my life. And then I'll be like, okay, is it about work, or is it about, what is it? And so when you ask, I feel like you take one step towards the gods and they'll take 10 towards you.
Yeah. And also, what energy are you in when you're receiving the message?
Mhm.
So I know it's different when you're dreaming, but that's, something that you can take into account. But, for me, like you were talking about with dreams, I recently had a couple dreams that were very real and very vivid. And you're talking about that trickster energy. And I had like some recurring nightmares that were happening. And I realized that it was because my energy was low due to my health, because I'm having ongoing neck problems. And my physical body was in a very lowered state. And so as I was receiving what was happening with that and the messages kind of like associated with that I would view as like, I don't know, I mean, what do you want to call it, darker energy or whatever. I'm like, I went to one of my friends who does Reiki and stuff, and we were having a conversation with it, and she was like, it's totally because of your lowered vibration due to your physical ailment. And so here's what you can do to kind of help with that. And as soon as I started doing that, it stopped. So like you're talking about like the trickster or the darker type energy, you have to set boundaries and you have to keep those boundaries energetically. And there's different ways you can do it. And you can ask for protection and all of that as well, so that all of your messages that you do receive coming in are from the white light only, and you can clear that energy like Denise was talking about. But, I just have this Archangel Michael song that I sing all the time, like whatever, however you want to do it. But that way your energy is clean when you are receiving everything. And there's a lot of different things that we can be exposed to throughout the day that can get us into a place where we're not in the best reception. So making sure that you're clear where you're at before you're trying to have these conversations, and maybe double checking with that first.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks,
Yeah.
MC. It'll be a while for me. I have a long road to go for my neck, but I really appreciate that.
When I was looking at your question about the snow dreams, right away, instantly when I saw that, and I don't know, just what I was picking up was like that there's something that needs to be, for me, if I had a dream about snow like that, I would take my sage the next day and I would like clear my house out with sage. Because for me, I live in Canada, and when it starts snowing, everything feels like a fresh start, and it feels clean, and it feels quiet, and it feels pure. It's like it resets the energy when it starts to snow. So that's how it resonates for me when you said the snow dream. But yeah, I feel like it just starts to work like riding a bike too. Like you just start like getting in the flow with it. And then like now I'm like, I don't know how I lived without that flow. And what
Yeah.
Ruby was talking about, that's what I was going to talk about. Okay, so the other thing that'll happen to me is if I'm about to make a bad choice, I can start to feel the energy get really, really, like, say I'm about to, I don't know, plan to go on a trip I'm not supposed to go on, or something like this. We'll use this for an example. I'll start to feel everything getting like really bad energy around me when I'm about to like make a choice. Or I've had people like a couple of hours before somebody's called me or I've ran into somebody, they'll warn me. They'll give me like that same kind of bad feeling. I'll be like, oh, I feel like, oh, I just feel a bad feeling about something, or everything will start to feel really like dirty around me. Like I can almost see like the auras changing. And I know like this person, like my ex, for example, when he's coming to pick up the kids, we'll say, or something like that. I'll just feel like this spirit like overtake. And so I just like, I really protections, sage it out, just send it straight back. Whoever is sending this to me, you know what? At night before I go to bed, I play a lot of return to sender meditations, clearing my energy before I go to bed. I put this on. It's usually the last thing I listen to before I go to bed is like, get it off of me, clear it off of me, return it to whomever is trying to send this to me. And I feel like things just like life changes, right? And you become like so sensitive. And like I trust myself today. You know, and I make sure that like when I'm seeing those signs, like I'm obedient. Like I'm not going to play around with it. I'm going to be like, oh, whatever. Like I'll just keep doing what I was going to do. Or like, for example, a year ago, I thought I had to buy a new car. And so I went to the car dealership and then I came home and my whole house just felt like it was melting. Like everything felt dirty inside the house. I was like, why is everything such a mess? And where do I begin? It's so like, because it wasn't the right timing for me to buy the car at that time. So I left it for a year and then like I got one a year later. So little things like that kind of help you on your path. And sometimes like on the cards, like when I'm doing readings, I will literally see like there's a King of Pentacles card and I'll see like, I'll be like, oh, it looks like there's moss growing on this person. And I know like this particular masculine energy, he's not healthy. He's got like some issues going on around him. And, you know, if you connect with him, it might be not a healthy mix for you. Like this type of things, right?
Yeah, I do it more through my solar plexus is how it comes in for me. So, you know, when you're making a decision, like our bodies do tell us to.
Mhm.
So like when we go to do something, even for me, it's like, should I take this exit or should I take that exit? I was going through the airport and you know, those lines in the TSA where it's like, which one's the actual fastest line to like get through to put my luggage through and just like things like that. And I'm like, and I was flying yesterday and I was like, "Ah, my stomach told me like I should have gone the other way." You know what I mean? And I took maybe I went like the wrong way and I went all the way through and then I had to like go around the corner and then stay in line. And then that line took forever to get my bag. And I was just like, I should have, because not because of the line, but because I already knew and I just wasn't tuned in enough because I was too distracted. But
well, you were being guided the right way and then you thought about it, which changed your mind instead of just going with the flow.
It appeared to be shorter, but it was going a different direction. And the guy behind me would just sail through the other way. And I'm like, so that's why I was angry, because I was mad at myself because I was like, you knew better. And so it's even just small things, but it's like we're always being guided. Like we are getting messages.
And then sometimes you're stuck in traffic because something happened that you don't need to be getting involved in. So like I would be so pissed. I used to drive to LA, right? I live in San Bernardino. LA is an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and that's where I worked. And I don't have to do it anymore. So I don't like traffic. So when I got into traffic, sometimes I'd be so mad, but then I'd come upon this accident and I'd be like, ooh, okay, I'm good. I'm glad.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I love when I know in the moment you can get super frustrated and you're like, why is this happening to me? And then you're like, oh, I was being rerouted because if I would have gone through. Yeah. It's incredible. It's incredible. Like walking hand in hand with those and heeding the guides. And yeah.
Lila is saying, so true. Take one step towards the gods and they will take 10 steps towards me, spirit. And then she says, spirit comes through owls and hawks to me often.
Like, look at these feathers. These were like showing up in my backyard, like day after day after day for like a couple weeks. So,
Right.
you know, that was a message to me. So,
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was at first, but then, you know, you sit with it and you try to figure it out. And,
yeah, Soraya.
but trust your own feelings, right? Trust how you feel about it.
Right. You're the only one that knows if it's for you, and you will have it's just like, for me, Morgan was talking about flow, and that's so true. It's also like about building a foundation with your guides. Like, I feel like as you start, you're kind of layering on top. So first, it's about for me, it's about making sure that my energy is clear so that I'm able to get the messages to be able to receive them. So if you're in a state where you're not in that place, you're not going to be able to receive anything, because you're blocking yourself without even really knowing it. Right. And then making sure that for me, I think when it comes to, those energy cones you see online, where it's like talking about the different vibrational energies. So if you can be in a state of gratitude or higher, then you're, pretty much in a place where you can receive information. That's just been my experience. Where if I'm not in that place or higher, I'm not going to be being able to receive messages. And then as you start to, like Morgan was talking about, like really start, receiving the messages for individual things, then you're kind of like building this repertoire of messages that you can start receiving. And then once your guides start realizing that you're getting it, they will throw a bunch at you. and it'll happen all the time. And sometimes I'm like, like, I need to concentrate on this thing, because I'll get words and images, and because I'm clairvoyant too. So I usually will see pictures in my mind of whatever the thing is. I'll see tarot cards in my mind. And it's almost like, for me, it appears like an after image, where you can see, like, usually they show me the traditional tarot, and I'll see like the King of Wands or whatever it is. And it's like an after image in my mind. And that's how my clairvoyance will show up. But Soraya is saying she gets these feelings too, talking with guides all the time with the mini clearing, quick grounding. Yeah, it doesn't take that long necessarily. It's like when you're riding a bike and, you can slow down or you can get off the bike. But once you are remembering how to be on the bike, you kind of just get back on and recalibrate your energy, and you're kind of back in the flow. And then you can do it in 5 minutes. Like Morgan was saying, she'll kind of like listen to something to clear her energy at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I was just reading that too. How do you recognize your guides? And your intuition can be your own guide, right? Because you have knowledge and experience, right? You've been through some stuff. So that can be your guide. But you can also ask if you feel like you're hearing somebody, or somebody's with you, or you're getting messages. Then, be in a quiet place or whatever and ask. Say, okay, who are you? What's your name? Whatever. If you need to listen to soft music, do some meditation, whatever, we all do different things. I'm not really good with sitting still and doing like meditations, but I can be alone by myself and be quiet and listen, right? Or I sit in my garden. So it's just whatever is comfortable for you. But you can always ask questions, ask them their name, right? Who are you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm open to you. Please help me. Who, what is it that you want me to hear? What is your name? How can I recognize you when you're here? What will you sound like? You can ask them whatever.
Yeah. Like I'll just use my grandma. So she only comes to me as a cardinal, and that's the only way I see her. And so with her, I always know when it's her. And I always know exactly when it's just a bird and when it's a cardinal, because we have an understanding. So she always does something to actually get my attention. And so like one day, I'll just, as an example, I was like walking past my window and there's a cardinal in the in the pot for the plant, but there was no plant in it at the time. It had just rained, and she was in there giving herself a bath and just flinging water everywhere out the window that I was walking past. And that is obvious, you know what I'm saying? And it was right when I was thinking about something, right when I was going through something, and I'm like, there she is, right? And so like I have that attachment to that particular guide, and I know exactly who it is, and I know exactly what she's trying to say and how to communicate with me. So you kind of, again, it's you driving. So you can ask the questions, you can set up how you want them to communicate with you.
Yeah. So like Lila's question, she had a dream about being pregnant. So what were the feelings that you had about that dream about being pregnant? Because when I was reading that, I was seeing, you know, the Empress is pregnant in most of the cards, right? So that's about new beginnings. There's usually the Venus sign that's about love. It could be, you know, what it could be from about those new beginnings. It could be about the divine feminine energy, just whatever your feeling is. And then you can, you know, you don't have to journal, but you can talk to yourself about it, you know. You can keep it in the back of your mind, be open to what's coming in. You said you were trying to find a place to give birth. So you were trying to move forward with whatever it was. This is how I'm reading that with that dream. So, you know, what does that mean to you?
Mhm.
You know,
Or where you feel safe is
yeah,
like your
because you have to
current
be in a safe
situation.
place to do that.
Yeah. It's like maybe like where you're at, you didn't feel safe at that time. And so you could be looking to birth something, and like they're probably maybe directing you in like your current location is not safe, or your time to change something about your current location. It could be that. Yeah, that's how I would see that. Because I know me personally, I've been in situations where I was like, oh, I had to endure whatever in particular times in my life, but I know that like those were not safe places for me. So I don't know if you're going at that time in August, you were going through a time where you just didn't feel safe. And sometimes we have to operate in like other types of like our reptilian part of our brain, like our survival mode. I don't know if you were in like survival mode at that time, or they're preparing you for like a new start and to find like a safe place. And I mean, sometimes that can be just as different, creating like a safe area in your house if you can't move in your house. Yeah, that's how I would interpret that.
Paige is saying, I think it's about the bird. I as well, I saw it on a branch in the same place, in the same part of the branch. It sat in the window at my cousin's house, and I recognized the bird. Right. So that's another example. You see the bird on the branch in the same place. Right. So it's you putting that together. That's great. That's perfect. That's a great example.
Yeah. I know sometimes I've seen, because I've got this tree in my backyard, and they make it so obvious. It's almost like literally your eyes get like pulled, and those animals, they're it's like for me, this is how I interpret it. They're not actually like, they're like a mystical animal that's like pushed through the veil. This is my interpretation. They're like pushed through the veil from like your ancestors or your spirit guides to get your attention, to give you a message.
I agree.
You
That's
know,
how I do it as well. Yeah.
you almost have to like, is that real? Like, am I seeing this? Like, what's that Jim Carrey movie where he's in the, like he's the, oh my gosh, where he's like in the show, the Truman Show.
The Truman Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like that kind of moment where you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like, does everybody else see this, or am I the only one seeing this? And then you know that it's kind of like a mystical appearance, right?
I get that same feeling, my eyes being pulled. That
Yes,
phrase
too.
is exactly what happens to me, and that is what happens to me when I'm reading cards.
Yeah.
So, if any of you are reading cards, or you have, especially even just oracle cards, what are your eyes being pulled to when you pull the card? You don't have to know how to read tarot.
Mhm.
You can even just intuitively read tarot or whatever. Like for me, my guides will pull my eyes. They pull my eyes to certain decks, and I'll say like, oh, my guides are telling me to use this deck. It's because they're pulling my eyes to a deck, and they're like, do this. And so that's why I always say I'm a tarot puppet, because they're like, telling me like what deck to use. And then when I pull a card, they'll show me something in that card that I'm supposed to be like looking at that is relevant to what I'm talking about. And then the flow starts, because then you're not getting in your own way, because so often we're like, oh, what are we doing that for? You know what I mean? Like that's our brain. But when you turn on that flow, then you're able to, your eyes can be pulled to this. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm looking at this shovel right now. Why am I looking at the shovel in this card? And then it's somehow relevant to whatever it is. So today I had, it was actually with the hermit, and I was reading, and I was like, this person's digging their own hole. And they know that, right? And so it's like, that's not on the hermit card, but it's relevant to what I'm talking about. So it's another example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Lila put down, she was preparing for a new place. I've been in my house 29 years. Feel move coming. So maybe the pregnancy was that you're moving along, but you're not ready yet. Maybe there's still time, so there's so many interpretations, but it's just how are you seeing it, right? Because, okay, so let's say I'm doing a reading for Ruby, and I'm pulling cards, and I'm saying what I'm saying, because that's the intuition that I'm getting. That's the messages that I'm getting. Ruby can see that the combination of the cards in a totally different way than I am, but I'm the one that's doing the reading. That doesn't mean that she's not getting a message about those cards. It's just that that's how different it is. It doesn't, like when I was saying that I was trying to be so precise about what each card means, right? It's a guide, but like Ruby said, you can learn tarot your own way. I had a reading years and years ago from a tarot reader who used a regular deck of cards.
That's how it started. That's how tarot started.
She used a regular deck of cards, and she said, I'm going to ask you yes or no questions, and you just tell me yes or no. I don't want to know anything else.
Jack of Spades is a Knight of Swords. A Jack of Spades is a Knight of Swords. A Jack of Hearts is a Knight of Hearts.
Yeah. What is the
that is how tarot started. And Ashley, who's Nova Star Tarot, also says she's starting to read intuitively only. So, like that's why I always push people to start just pulling cards, even if it's just one a day, or it doesn't have to be cards, but I'm a card gal. So that's why I'm going to talk about cards. But there's always a message in there for you. So if you're trying to find a way to start developing a relationship with your intuition, with your guides, you can take notes, even if it's just one thing. I'm noticing the shovel on this card. You pull that one card and you say what card it is. So it was the 9 of Cups, right? But what really drew your eye that day was the shovel. You write that down and you just chew on it. Just chew on it throughout the day, and something may come up throughout the day and you're like, I get it. And that's a puzzle piece you're putting together, right? Mm-hmm. So like that is ways to do it, but that's you being proactive. So your guides aren't just going to like obliterate you and like come down from the heavens and like levitate down. I mean, if they do, great. That's awesome. But it's a reminder. Yeah.
I say unto you, blah, 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 blah.
Right. A burning bush.
Yeah.
But Go ahead, Ruby. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
I was watching like another reader on a different channel somewhere. She was talking about how like she can't even go in.
Uh-oh.
I think Morgan
Sorry.
She said she was having, she
Like,
said
she
she can't
goes-
go to where?
She can't even go into the supermarket and like look at like cereal boxes or like boxes of food without getting messages.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
Yeah.
oh girl, you gotta close that down when you go.
Yeah.
Oh
Close it.
yeah. Yeah.
That's part
And
of
like
clearing your
songs,
spaces or
like
whatever.
going into the grocery store and like the songs that come
Yeah.
on, and because it's like, you don't have any control over songs when you're in a store like that. You're just gonna get whatever. And I'm like, all right.
Okay.
I'm good,
Yeah, it's like, can I just
and
have,
so it's
like,
like turning off the faucet, and then so you have to find ways to do that. And I think even Wendy, when she does mediumship, it's the same thing, because she's like, says like, I have a line of people that want to talk. And so it's like, you just have to make your own rules about how you're gonna open up your energy or have your energy closed. Yeah. Well,
when I was younger, I used to smell things, and that's how. I don't do it so much anymore, but I remember doing that when I was younger.
Yeah, that is so. Yeah.
We're getting towards the end of the hour. So Denise, do you want to maybe like let everybody know one more time what our next date for everything is? And
well, we don't have anything planned until the membership starts on 1 December. So the on the in the description boxes, it'll say the dates, but I want to open it up because I have it right here. It is, so 1 December and 15 December will be our first 2 lives as part of the membership. And then we have 5 January, 19 January, then 2 February, and 16 February. We didn't go anything past that because we just want to see how it goes. I mean, we might need more. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, So we're very open to what comes in. I've thoroughly enjoyed our conversation tonight, and I know that the people in the audience, in the chat has enjoyed it as well. And again, this is what we want to do. We might have some topic that we want to talk about because maybe, we were feeling that. Or we might just come in and say, okay, what do you got? Like Penny started it out with really needing us or whatever, right? And then again, just to reiterate, if it's something that's super, super private and very vulnerable, then we're going to be very, very careful with that. We're going to be very confidential about it. And you have our word that we will not, talk about it. And on outside, we will definitely edit some things out. You will only have that specific, we could even go so far as to email you and say, okay, what do you want us to do with this? Right. And you can decide, okay, we delete it, we do whatever. Right. So I'm excited about this because I think this is something that really needs to be around, right? We need a place, especially with a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. There's just a lot of things going on, and what's going on just could be like, I don't watch the news, so I like to talk to people about stuff, right? It's not that I don't care, but my job was very stressful, so I had to like turn down all the stress, and I don't like drama. So I need a place to vent. I need a place to talk, right? Yeah. And the 3 of us laugh all the time too. So, we can be laughing all the time too.
Also, so there will be plenty of time for that, and we'll make sure to give time for everyone to be a part of it. And it's not going to be just in chat, okay? So, we're gonna have a lot to offer for everybody, and so yeah.
And this is just the beginning. So if we need to add more things, then we'll do those things, right?
Yeah, and we'll do more lives here too. We'll do more lives here on YouTube as well, but it's not going to be, it'll be, you know, the Reader's Digest version of what you're going to be getting essentially, because it's going to be so much more in depth and it's going to be so much more personal, and you know, you'll be able to find out more about us too. Yeah. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Do either of you guys have anything else you want to add before we go? Okay, well, thank you all so much, and hopefully we will see you on the next one. And we will be putting a lot of information out on Lighthouse Tapestry. You may also see some more stuff posted through Soulful Revolution TV, because that's where we have all gone through their program and they're supporting us. And so they do we will have messages that will be going out through SRTV as well. So for those of you that have not already checked out the Lighthouse Tapestry brand new website that just went live on Saturday around noon. And so if you guys are interested in booking with any of us, we do all three offer tarot readings, and Denise and I also offer different types of coaching, so you can look at what is most resonant to you if you guys are interested in coaching sessions or tarot. And Morgan, do you just do tarot? Is that what we have for you just up there right now?
Yeah.
Morgan does tarot, but these readings, like tarot is just a guide. So a lot of times coaching sessions involve tarot too. And so anyway, I just thought I would mention that. So it's lighthouse-tapestry.com, I believe, that we just went live on there. And there you will also see all of the other readers that are on Lighthouse Tapestry that specialize in different things as well. So you may want to check that out, like Sarita Zakash. And we have Ron, who uses runes, and we have like all sorts of
Wendy, mediumship.
Yeah, mediumship. Wendy does mediumship.
Dawn does astrology.
Dawn does astrology, and also Denise does astrology. So check it out, guys, if you haven't already. And we will see you guys on the next live. Thank you so much for being here.
And just know that if you sign up for the membership, it doesn't start till 1 December. So you shouldn't get billed or anything just yet. So, but hopefully we'll see you there. And this is so exciting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
See you.
Bye-bye.